Let's begin this broadcast with a super exclusive news break. There is more proof piling on that COVID-19 virus was in fact the result of a lab leak in Wuhan in China, and there was a cover-up at play. A Chinese virologist who was among the first to claim that coronavirus had leaked from a laboratory in Wuhan has now made a stunning disclosure. She has come out and said that US infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci's emails to claim that her theory is proven right, and this was a man-made lab leak which has now wreaked havoc for the last 2 years across the globe. Sharon's with me for more on this. Now, Sharon, over the last few weeks, we've seen how chorus has been growing to hold China accountable, to probe into the origin of this virus. This Chinese virologist's emails to Dr. Fauci of the United States, and the emails which are now also in public domain after they were leaked on several websites, they go on to prove that there is something amiss. There is more than what meets the eye as far as the origin of this virus is concerned. Sharon? Sharon, if you can hear me, we're now seeing that more and more proof is piling on in front of China. There is a chorus for reinvestigation as far as the origin of this virus is concerned. The emails that are now out in public domain, the emails that were written by a Chinese scientist to Dr. Anthony Fauci, have now confirmed that yes, there needs to be an investigation, because we cannot take China's word that this was a natural virus. We'll try and reconnect with my colleague Sharon, who's getting us the details of what exactly is transpiring now. But India, among several other countries, have also asked for a reinvestigation into the entire matter. China, of course, keeps deflecting blame, but emails of US advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci from 2020 have now been made public on several news websites. Those emails go on to show that yes, there is a high suspicion that this was a result of a lab leak in Wuhan, where the first case of COVID-19 was discovered in 2019. I believe Sharon is now with us for more on this. Yes, Sharon.
I think some network problem.
We'll try and reconnect with my colleague there, but Times Now did speak to Chinese virologist Dr. Li Meng Yah. Listen in to what she had to say about the findings that she came out with back in 2019, and over the course of the last 1 year, what has transpired.
All right, sensational revelations are coming out as far as China is concerned, and the role as far as the origin of coronavirus is concerned. To talk about that, I have with me Dr. Li Meng Yah, who's an independent coronavirus expert. Thank you so much for speaking to Times Now. Dr. Yang, let me begin by asking you that you've claimed that Dr. Anthony Fauci's emails prove that your Wuhan lab leak hypothesis. Could you please elaborate on that for us?
Okay, thank you for having me. What I want to mean is Dr. Fauci realized this is not from nature. Dr. Fauci realized there's something wrong, even includes the gain of function project into this coronavirus. But he chose to hide up and also work with misinformation campaign from the last year. So I know this from the last year, January and February, and all the email exposed actually verified my work. Actually, that means in this COVID-19 pandemic, we don't only face to China's propaganda and China's cover-up. We also get involved into the international misinformation campaign, including people like Dr. Fauci, NIH, WHO. They work with Chinese Communist Party for their own benefit, but cheat all of us.
All right, and after the release of these emails, Dr. Fauci said that he received thousands of emails. He's never ruled out any theory. So how does that really add up in terms of your own validation that you just mentioned?
Yes, okay. As I said, I never say Dr. Fauci get involved really deep into the Chinese unrestricted bioweapon development because I keep telling people China government doesn't trust foreigners, especially people like Fauci stay in US, but they will use these people and then use them to spread their misinformation and for whatever purpose. And if these people can work with them, that can help China to cover up their novel bioweapon projects. So that's what we have seen from the beginning to now. So actually, this virus is created based on Chinese army discovered and owned very unique bad coronavirus that fit their purpose to find a good backbone and to develop the novel bioweapon. And then from 2017, when they got this virus, they spent 2 years and then develop it, recruit the knowledge from different expert teams, which also involve techniques from US and also involve the money they cheat from NIH or some other foreign fundings. All these things they do together and finally develop some novel bioweapon. And this COVID-19 virus is the one, as I reviewed, based on PLA's virus. And then later in Wuhan, end of 2019, for their trial purpose, they have conducted some kind of experiment, just it's in the community. They thought it can be under control, but it's out of control. Then later, they take the advantage to spread it to the world, work really as a bioweapon.
Also, if I can ask you, that in an interview, Dr. Fauci is reported to have said that the email has been taken out of context by critics and has slammed the Wuhan lab leak theory as far-fetched. Now, in that case, what makes you say that his emails are proving your theory correct?
Okay, so I say there are many evidence. If you don't know other things, you may not understand it. But for example, as I said, from last February, I keep telling people that the Lancet statement written by Peter Daszak and 27 scientists signed together to prove to praise China government in anti-COVID-19 and also call the lab origin as conspiracy. From that time, I know they are lying together, and I know this is part of their misinformation to deny the lab origin. And also from Mr. Fauci's email, Dr. Fauci's email, you see back to end of January, he's already involved into this, and the people were talking about the lab origin things that we should not let people discuss or notice this. So later, Fauci and other scientists they write the paper in Nature Medicine, which is very famous about the nature origin of the virus. And they sent the draft to Fauci, and Fauci said that's very good. And then later they used this article to send to other journalists, including Zero Hedge, Mr. Bill Gates, all these people, and tell them, see, it's from nature. You should stop talking about the lab origin. And Fauci wildly collaborated with China government.
The Weekend Australian has reported about the 2015 Chinese document, and it's titled The Unnatural Origin of SARS, a New Species of Man-Made Viruses as Genetic Bioweapons. And this suggests that Chinese military scientists were discussing weaponization of SARS coronaviruses 5 years ago before COVID-19 pandemic. Now, how do you explain that Chinese scientists were discussing weaponization of this? Because at the same time, the Global Times discredited this report on the Chinese document and claimed that this wasn't a secret document but appeared in an academic book, and the South China Morning Post also has been in fact has dismissed the Australians' report. So where do you stand on this controversy?
Also, I can tell you that no matter South China Morning Post or no matter the Global Times, all these people actually work for China government. They are Chinese propaganda machine. That is 100% definitely. And this book is a real textbook. As I said, this is verified by different government, and this is open published by the military medical press, which is the official military press in China. And also this bioweapon textbook explain exactly what I told you. They called it contemporary bioweapon using coronavirus. I tell you that is, I define as unrestricted bioweapon. So this is written by the top bioweapon expert, General De Zhongxu, and also another senior military officer, Feng Li, in the PLA General Logistics Department. in their preface of this book, they clearly mention fully support from PLA and also central government of CCP. And this is published, so that means this is even an open secret from 5 years ago. So China never hide their real purpose in China because they know they can control the freedom, so they don't hide their purpose. This is open secret. It already describes their novel bioweapon and the plan, which can be verified now. So you can imagine what will happen in their confidential documents. So this is actually, we call it guidance of the bioweapon.
Right, Dr. Yang, last question. If you can just recap for our viewers, how is it that you were forced into hiding after, in fact, Beijing had tried to cover up what has transpired and your allegations as far as the origins of coronavirus are concerned?
So actually, I was the target. I was almost the biggest target now for China government. It's because back to last January, 19th January 2020, I delivered the message I get about China government is covering up and there will be a pandemic if they don't control on time. And also the key point is I tell exactly the real backbone of the SARS-CoV-2 is the PLA, that virus. And I exactly pointed out the name of those viruses and also it's intentionally released. So that's why China government realized someone inside this, they know it. Because I contact the top experts in this field, I have my vast network and I have my expertise and knowledge about this. So they are scared. That's why they keep targeting me and they have series of reaction quickly, including lockdown China, although it's very inhumanity, and including they decide to take the advantage, spread it to the world. I mean, initially they try to make it slowly, more secret, not so obviously, and then they make a lot of stupid mistakes. That's why we can see verified by those emails and other things. So since I went to US in April, they know that I can speak out by myself now, so they are more scared. Then they recruit the national power to dismiss me and to attack me even until now. So that's why you see Facebook now has to remove their claim telling I'm the liar. And you also can see now there are more and more people realize the virus not come from nature. And it's not even the lab accident. You will see the more evidence will be verified gradually. And many of my evidence already get verified from last year. So that's why I'm the target. That's why I keep telling the truth. I hope people to know it soon as possible.
Dr. Yang, thank you for your time and thank you so much for speaking to Times Now.
Thank you. Happy to talk with you.
Those explosive claims have now been made by the Chinese virologist that the chorus is also growing around the globe to call for a reinvestigation for the World Health Organization to hold China accountable. That remains our top focus here on Times Now. But a quick break, back in just 2 minutes.